Most traders don't lose because of their strategy, they lose because of how they execute it. Even though you have good setups, things such as emotional decision, revenge trading, and as well inconsistency can ruin your results. The honest truth is this: a losing trader with the right strategy still loses. What's going on, team? It is your boy Lesiba Mothupi, and on today's video I want us to actually speak about one of the reasons that most people would be able to lose in the markets, but the more important thing is for you to be able to spot some of these failures, some of these mistakes, but at the same time you'd be able to just know what to avoid and how you can get out of these situations, just so you are able to join the profitability club. So now let us get started into this topic. If you haven't liked this video, one thing that you can do is to subscribe to my channel and at the same time like this video. But let's get started. Now I want us to break down some of the 5 reasons that you are still losing. The first one is that you don't backtest. You haven't backtested before. So ultimately, truly speaking, with this, you're just trusting a strategy that you barely tested, and you haven't even took over 50 trades on this strategy, which means that currently right now what you're doing is you're gambling. So the second reason why you're still losing is that you don't follow your own rules. Things such as fear of missing out and impulse entries are draining your account. The truth is that discipline isn't optional, it is the system. The third reason that you are still losing is the fact that you risk a bit too much. Over leveraging your account kills consistency, because you can come from being profitable within the last few months and then you over risk, and that automatically takes back all the profits that you've made in the prior months. And the truth is that one bad trade should not blow your whole entire week. The fourth reason you're still losing is that you keep switching from strategy to strategy. Consistently changing systems puts you on beginner mode forever. What do I mean? Meaning that once you know the strategy and then you trade it for 6 months and you think it doesn't work, you leave it, you go to a new strategy. You are entering the strategy with zero knowledge, zero experience, zero. So you are a beginner to that strategy. So you do the same thing again for 6 months. You see something else, you get into it once again, and then you find yourself in the cycle of doom. Mastery only happens after repetition, not after hopping to the next trend. And the fifth reason why you're still losing is that you don't have any trade journal or no review processes. The truth is that if you're not tracking your trades, you are not learning, and that is just the ultimate thing. So you need to be able to just keep track of all your trades, just so you are able to learn in this journey. If you are liking this video, I want you to do something for me, which is to just like this video, press that like button that is just below, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, just make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So now I want to speak a bit more on about what actually turned it all around for me. At first, I started diving a bit more deeper into strategy. So I thought that it was all types of strategy. I traded the Fibonacci, I traded the Elliott waves, I traded the Hikinachi, I traded literally anything, all indicators. I tried out each and every single strategy that seemed like it's the next big thing. I was hopping onto it, and truly speaking, I never found success doing that. And then ultimately I noticed that, okay, maybe it's because of risk, I need to increase my lot sizes. Obviously I never found success with that either, because that only led me to over trading and over leveraging and over risking. And then thirdly, I started thinking to myself, maybe it's because of market structure. But ultimately I understood that the market will always be the same. It's market structure. If it's impulse, it's impulse. If it's correction, it's correction, and so on. It can change. So it's not really market structure. It has nothing to do with the markets, but it has more to do with myself, which is why now I started rediving and doing things that I wasn't doing, because ultimately I was not consistently profitable, which means that I was doing something that was not giving me the results, which means now I had to just stand out, come back once again, and then be able to focus a bit more on what exactly can I do. Okay, let me backtest, because I've never backtested, so let me give backtesting a try. Let me try journal each and every single trade that I take. Let me try respect to my risk, my trading plan. Let me try have this pre-market routine that I do every time before I trade, meaning that every time before I buy or I sell, I do a specific routine that prepares me mentally, and as well that allows me to be able to just enter the market with a fresh and clean mindset. And that is when things started changing for me. And when I finally sat down and then I reviewed over 100 trades of my backtesting statistics and data that I put down, that's when things started changing for me. That's when I started seeing and understanding how powerful all of that meant, taking down journaling, backtesting and everything. Because why? Just then when I was looking at the results, that's when I noticed, oh, okay, I take more long positions on the reversal patterns and they lose more. So which means that if I want to increase my profitability, I need to only take my long positions on continuation patterns compared to reversal. Okay, then I know the tweak. And as well, I noticed that, okay, this specific instrument that I'm trading likes to give me these types of results, which if I trade this one, it gives me much more better with the exact same strategy. You understand? So I was able to get data that allowed me to be able to make much more better decisions on my trading. And then ultimately I started seeing that I was the problem, the market was not the problem. Okay, so now you're asking yourself, how can you use this information to your advantage? How can you go about applying everything that I'm talking about just so you're able to see massive success? So what I'm going to do now is that I want to break it down in easy, actionable steps that you can follow, that you can practice, that you can literally apply today in order of you to be able to see results. But the one thing that I'm going to say is that you won't see results unless you act, because results only come once you've acted. So let us break down those actionable items. So the first thing is you need to pick one strategy and then commit to backtesting that exact same strategy for the next 30 days. Be able to keep track of over 100 trades and just dive a bit more deeper into understanding how it moves and so on. Because what this does is that you'd be able to spot the strategy, you'll be able to see when it wins, when it plays out more, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening, maybe during London session, maybe during Asian session. You'll also be able to see which time frames work the best. You'll at the same time be able to see what types of entry criteria actually succeed the most. So you'll be able to make much more better trading decision. But the first thing is you need to pick this strategy and then commit to it for the next 30 days. So the second thing is that now you need to set clear rules and then journal each and every single trade. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you enter with 0.01 lot sizes, whether you enter with 10 lots, you need to write it down and journal it. This way you'd be able to always review those trades that become big wins, even those trades that become big losses. You'll be able to just review them so you see the mistakes that you made or the good things that you've done, so that you can be able to do more of that in the future. So the third thing is that you need to cut your risk in half and then focus more on the execution, not on the profits. I see a lot of people focusing too much on how much money they want to make, how much this trade is going to give them and so on, but they don't focus on the risk side of things. And the risk literally being able to see how much are you going to lose and how can you reduce that risk so that you don't lose more than whatever amount that you're going to be losing. So you need to cut just that, remove that, and then be able to just focus more on the execution. How do you go about executing it rightly and timely? How do you go about making sure that where you are entering the trade is the rightest area, your stop loss is at the rightest area? So you need to be able to focus more on these things. And one of the other things that I don't see people doing is that you need to review your trades weekly. Once you're able to take a look at how your week is day in, day out, you'll be able to have a much more clearer understanding of where are you in the markets and what it is that you can do for the following week in order to improve. Because truly speaking, your mistakes of this week should be your next week's lessons. And one of the last things that you need to do and apply in order for you to see massive success is you need to keep track of your mental game just the exact same way that you keep track of your technical game. I see a lot of people too focused on the technicals, trying to get that next big trade and so on, but they don't realize that all that is in their head, because even the next big trade is in the mind. I mean, you can catch the right technical setup and then it goes in your profits, but you close to AD or you do a simple mistake that eventually doesn't give you the money that you are supposed to make. Unlike if you had your mental game proper, and then even if you catch that high winning trade, automatically you're just scaling and going all the way up to maximum profits with the trade. So I want you to be able to focus more on your mental game compared to just on the technical setups. So the question is, are you still losing? Maybe you were, but now that you've got this information, I doubt that you still continue to lose. The only real question is, what exactly are you going to do with this information? Are you going to apply, or are you just going to watch this video? So for all those that are going to be applying this information that has been mentioned here, I want you to just drop a fire emoji in the comments section, and that is for all those that are looking into breaking that losing cycle. At the same time, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for all these weekly updates on anything that has to do related to trading. It is your boy Lesiba Mothupi. I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next YouTube video.